Hi, children. Welcome you all to our next video class of the very first unit of our ninth standard titled Humor. And all of you know, dear children, we successfully completed our snake and the mirror. Children, as I told you, in this unit, we are going to have fun and frolic. In the very first lesson, which comes under reading A of the first unit, we saw how the homeopath troubled or rather threatened or in one way thrilled with the presence of snake in his room. So how finally it was done. We enjoyed, no? So now moving on to the next segment, that is lesson B. It is not a lesson, children. It is a poem, and very funny poem titled The Duck and the Kangaroo. So in the previous one, we had a poisonous creature. Now we have one bird and one beautiful creature, the kangaroo. What a friendship, no? Can we imagine the friendship between duck and the kangaroo? One is in the ponds and one keeps on hopping and happily enjoying life. So what is this poem about and how it is funny? Let us enjoy this poem. But before we plunge into the poem, children, all of you know, we must know what first? We must know the details of the poet. So here you see, children, all of you, this poet was Mr. Edward Lear. He was a British artist, illustrator, author, poet, and renowned today primarily for his literary nonsense. See, literary nonsense means what? When you go through the poem, you start reading, you feel, is it really real? No, it is not really real. See, this poetry of his, means Edward Lear's, is to enjoy. So let us not think logically. That's why it is called literary nonsense. And he is very good at writing such type of literary nonsense. And if his childhood, he suffered from ill health. Sorry, children, not if his childhood, in his childhood. See, imagine life in the childhood only completely filled with ill health means. Do we feel happy? No way. So, ill healthy, he had big ill health. And afterwards, his principal areas of work as an artist were threefold. But before becoming an artist, children, because his health was declined, in the later life, he died of a heart disease. But before that, he did many works. And his artistic work was threefold. Threefold means in three varieties. As a draftsman employed to illustrate birds and animals. That time only started drawing about birds and animals in an illustrated way. And making colored drawings during his journeys. He started traveling, imagine, when he was traveling. So, all his journeys, he applied some colors and he made the journey colorful. Lear is principally known for his popular nonsense works rather than as a travel writer. Mostly widely known. So, if you go through Edward Lear, just Google it and know about him, you can find most of his works are nonsense works only. That means when you start reading, you really feel funny. Hey, can it happen? Hey, how re? No, that's that type of some doubts will get. But one thing, they are really amusing to read. And these show a great ability to use with release the sound of real and invented English words. Some words actually we don't find in the dictionary also. When we go through reading, we feel, can this verse be used in this way? So such type of works we can find in Lear's writings. So present the poem The Duck and the Kangaroo is a poem with a touch of light of humor. Naturally, as I told you in the beginning itself, the duck is in the pond, children. And how can we expect the duck speaking to a kangaroo? The duck has a desire in this poem. It wanted to go around the world, enjoy the world. All of you know the duck's world is in the pond, or just it comes out near to the pond, it's just puts his web feet for a while near to the pond on the land, and then again it goes into the pond. All of you know we can't see the web feet of the duck when it was, we feel that it was floating, but the feet are inside the water and very slowly it does. If you remember, here I am going to quote one beautiful song of Ram Charan and Tamanna. So Tamanna did this duck step. You try to recall that movie. Beautiful duck step she did with Ram Charan Tej in one movie, in one song. What is that song? Which movie? I am not going to tell you. You recall how beautifully she sat down along with the group dancers and she did the duck step. It was a great sensation those days. Of course, not very big, long days back. Once you try to recall which movie, which song, you can see a duck moving. Of course, all of you know the duck, but a human being, that a dancer like Tamanna, like doing the action, the swimming of the duck, it's really superb. Okay, let us come from movies to her poem. So here, imagine a duck asked kangaroo, Kangaroo, would you please take me and show me the world? Because in no time you'll keep on going, jumping, hopping across the lands, mountains and all, no? Will you please take me? I'll very carefully sit on your back. Please, kangaroo, will you? The duck asked. Do you think kangaroo accepted readily? Kangaroo has some instructions, some rules and regulations she laid. So what are the rules and regulations? How the conversation went on between these two creatures? This is all a poem. A literary nonsense it is. See, once again I'm telling you children, don't go logically how a duck can speak, how kangaroo can speak, and how is it possible. In these type of literary nonsense works, as I told you earlier, no question of logic. These are just meant to enjoy the verse, enjoy the rhyming if it is there, enjoy the vocabulary which is used by the poet, isn't it? And enjoy the various figures of speech used by the poet like simile, metaphor, personification. See here, when two creatures are speaking means undoubtedly it is a personification only. Because we are watching Tom and Jerry, Mickey Mouse and all, no? Of course, your most favorite Nobita, isn't it? All these are what? Cartoons. How cartoons can speak? So we have given voice to them, like how we are doing these videos. Now see, I am not visible to you, but my voice is coming behind. I'm just showing the pictures and voice is coming. Like that, if I make the kangaroo speak, imagine that in the recent movie, I think Lion King or something, great actors of our film industry, they give voice to the creatures, no? How beautiful it is. Amitabh Bachchan speaking for the lion or somebody else, isn't it? For a monkey, somebody, isn't it? I don't know. I don't remember. I think you remember all these things. So you enjoy in that way. The pure humor comes out from this beautiful poem written by Edward Lear. That is the duck and the kangaroo. Children, all of you, what we do in our regular class, I ask you to close your eyes and I will recite the whole poem. First, what we have to do? We have to close our eyes and listen to the poem, which is either sung by me or recited by me. So let us not go for reading here. We have to create one kind of tune for this. One assignment I am giving you children afterwards. What you have to do now? Every one of you should tune at least one stanza. One stanza of this poem. We have exactly 2 plus 3, 5 stanzas are there children. So any stanza you take. I don't want complete poem from everybody. You take one stanza and try to make your own tune, isn't it? So before we go, children, before we go deep stanza wise, I'm going to present you this beautiful poem with music. Please try to enjoy. Okay, enjoy this. And what you have to do now, listen to it again. Don't simply watch once and close, go for the assignment. First, listen to it. Enjoy all the five stanzas which are musically presented to you. And what is the assignment, do you know? Very simple assignment. One tune, first of all, you have to make and you have to send to me in the form of a voice message. No writing here, still there, writing I'll give you. But this is the first time I'm asking you to submit your voice message. Just tell your name. Sir, I am so and so section. That's it. Roll number not necessary. So you have to select any of the five stanzas in your own tune, no problem. Movie songs also allowed here, no problem. So that is the beautiful assignment which I am giving to you. So for the first time, I am expecting a voice message from every one of you, both ninth A and B, okay, to be sent to me. This is your assignment. But before signing off, children, please enjoy the poem presented to you in a musical way. Okay? And next coming videos, we'll discuss stanza wise. Okay, children? Bye. See you in my next video. Catch me up.
Said the duck to the kangaroo, good gracious of you all. Over the fields and the water too, as if you never would stop. My life is a bore in this nasty pond. I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you kangaroo. Said the duck to the kangaroo. Please give me a ride on your back, said the duck to the kangaroo. I would sit quite still and say nothing, but quack, 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 quack. The whole of the long day through, and we go to the tea and jelly bully, over land and over the sea. Please take me a ride, oh do, said the duck to the kangaroo. Said the kangaroo to the duck, this requires some little reflection, perhaps only hope it might bring me love. And there's his but one objection, which is if you let me speak so bold, your feet are unpleasant, lit and cold, and would probably give me the room I just said the kangaroo to the duck. Said the duck, as I sit on the rocks, I have thought over that completely. I bought 4 pairs of worsted socks, which fit my web feet neatly. And to keep out the cold, I bought a clock, and every day a cigar I'll smoke, all to follow my own dear true love of a kangaroo, love of a kangaroo. Said Said the kangaroo, I'm ready, all in the moonlight pale. But to balance me well, the duck sits steady, sits steady, sits steady, and right at the end of my tail. So away they went with the hop and run, and they hoped the world would 3 times round, 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 round. And who's so happy, oh who? And who's so happy, oh who? Oh who? As the duck and the kangaroo, said the kangaroo, I'm ready.